Hello and welcome to this special edition of SWEN News. I'm Drew Hallett. This week we look into juuling in school and why it's become such a big hit in the classroom. It all comes up next here on SWEN News.
You, my friend, are watching SWEN News.
So I'm joined here down with Mr. Chick, who is a woodshop teacher here at Somersworth High School. So we are on the topic right now of vaping in school, specifically Juuls, as they're a really hidden thing and stuff. Have you heard of these before?
I have heard of a Juul, and in fact, I didn't know what it was until I was walking down the hall one day, and I bent over and picked something up off the floor that I thought was a USB drive. And lo and behold, it was a vape pen. So that was my introduction to the Juul.
Yeah, most people are saying that, most teachers are saying that it's disguised, almost looks as a flash drive, and that's correct. Why.
I think that vaping in school is not okay because, first of all, it's not good for your health. Second of all, there is a legal age attached to these things. And I think that beyond the legal and health risks, I don't have a real opinion on it. I know they're not supposed to. Unfortunately, they do. But if you're willing to ignore the health risks and the legal risks, then there's not a lot of argument outside of that.
Another side topic is that the companies like Juul, they say they don't market it whatsoever to teenagers, but seeing that all teenagers have them, do you think that these companies are marketing to them?
Yes, I think that they market towards kids.
Hello, I am Oliver Drew, and I am here in the SWEN studio with Drew and Kiana. And we are talking about juuling in school. Kiana, what is a Juul?
A Juul is a kind of like an e-cigarette, and it has nicotine-based vape juice in it, and yeah.
Okay, so we wanted to find more information about how students have been using these in school, and it's all social based today. It's all about social media, and that's why it's become such a fad today. And we've done some research interviewing tons of students. We've interviewed across Dover and Somersworth. We interviewed 20 students and about 5 teachers. About 50% of the teachers don't even know what a Juul is. So 2 out of 4 in our case. And just about 100% actually of all the students know what a Juul is. So we had no students in our research whatsoever that had no idea what a Juul was. And just about 75% have seen a student or did it themselves, Juuled or vaped, as they call it in school. So what do you think about that, Oliver? Why do you think that this is happening?
I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of a mob mentality type thing. Somebody else has a Juul, might as well try it. And juuling in school, I guess it's like a rebellious thing maybe because, it's such an easy device to carry around. You can take it to and from places relatively easy, hide it in your pockets or anywhere, and just hit it off really quickly. And I don't think it hurts. I've never tried one personally, so I wouldn't know what it tastes like or anything. I know that apparently they have flavor packs, like ramen. So, yeah, like ramen has flavor packs too.
So we also interviewed if they think that this should be more stricter in school, and only 37% of students actually thought, teachers should actually crack down more on this, and it's been, seen very often, and it's something that should be stopped, in my opinion. And I talked with a teacher who, she knew what a Juul is, and she's never seen it done in school, but she caught a student, she's found a Juul in the classroom in the back of the blackboard, and she took that, and she had no idea what it is because most teachers are thinking that it's a USB flash drive style thing because that's the size of it and that's what it looks like. So I'm joined here with Mr. Sokol, the principal of Somersworth High School. So we're talking about vaping in school, specifically juuling and Juuls. Have you heard of these things before?
I have. It's something that's relatively new in the school. I don't think we saw it last year, but we have seen, too much of it this year so far. So I am familiar with the Juul device we've taken some of those away from kids, and the vaping issue falls under the handbook policy of smoking. It's an electronic device, and it can have nicotine in oil. It can also have THC oil. So we forbid those in school.
And thinking about like knowing, because obviously we know students are doing this. I mean, I go to Dover and I see students doing it in class and stuff. So knowing students are doing it just and they're hiding it and stuff, do you think that's like, the right thing to be doing here?
Well, obviously not. I mean, they're taking a chance because, number one, it's not a healthy thing, and they're taking a chance because most schools will have it in their handbooks that it's against the rules. I know there's been vaping in class. I know there's places where the kids go and do it outside of class. We don't have the manpower to be everywhere, but when we have suspicions and good knowledge, we bring the kids in, and usually we find something when we search them.
And what do you think made this come to such popularity today? What made it big about juuling in school and juuling in general?
Well, it's just another one of those things that the kids have kind of gravitated to. I think it's kind of a scourge on schools right now. Everybody is dealing with with the issue, and I don't think we've landed on a cure for it, other than maybe just through education, talking to kids about the dangers of doing it, and maybe we can get some yardage on making them stop.
And I mean, I know you just pretty much answered that question for you, but is there really, do you think, in your personal opinion, there's any way to, fully stop this from happening in school with the manpower at the school at all or anything?
Well, I think what the kids see is it's an alternative to smoking a cigarette. A cigarette generates a lot of, you got to light it somehow. You need a lighter or matches. And then if you take a drag off a cigarette, it's going to create smoke. And it's not as easy to hide as an electronic device, like a Juul device in a classroom or in a school. We do know that kids have been juuling in class, and they blow the vapor down their shirts, down their sweatshirts, or something like that. So, it's just one of those things that takes up unnecessary time for the administration. So I think we have to attack it from a hardcore point as well as an educational point.
Seeing students doing this in school, specifically students, children under 18, seeing them doing this and thinking about the company Juul, they say that they don't market this to students whatsoever, any people under 18, knowing what a Juul is and that they're used by pods and stuff. Do you think that they're actually marketed to students?
Well, they can say all they want, but it's just like Budweiser or Miller High Life. They don't market it to students, but kids gravitate to it because they think they can get away with it. And the students are approaching, are looking at juuling and those electronic cigarettes as an alternative to regular smoking. And, it's not a healthy thing.
Juul, the company, is stating that they are not marketing it to children at all, but when you include flavor pods of fruit-like stuff,
there's a certain sense of it, like this is for kids. It's kind of like they don't want kids to have it, but they want kids because their whole business model relies on teenagers. I've only seen teenagers do it, so I mean, something tells me that it's marketed to teenagers more than
teenagers and college kids. I've never seen an adult over 24 have one of these things before.
And maybe
you have, okay, so we have one. Okay.
Yeah. maybe I think maybe it's because like it might be cheap. I don't know. I've never used a Juul. I don't know if it's cheap or not.
I did like research on it, and online it's about like $50. So I mean, it's like pretty cheap, and like it also has like to charge it, like a magnetic thing where you just put the Juul on it and it like charges. And
okay, so it makes it even easier.
There's different like flavors to it. There's like mango, cucumber, and like all that stuff. Like I read all about it.
So do you think this stuff needs to stop in school, or what's your opinion on it?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, if they're 18 years old, like I don't know. Like I get it, sure. But I mean, like.
I'm saying under 18. That's mainly, they're marketing it. It's so. Because that's their market. That's, kids are buying it from the black market of high school, and
Yeah.
reselling it and making profit. And
You got all these 40-year-old potheads just
Oh my God.
dishing this stuff out like it's candy. No, I just say that like I think that's one of the reasons why is it's cheaper, and then it's like you got flavor packets too, so it doesn't taste like utter dog crap. And so you mix the cheapness with the flavor packets, and mix the cheapness with the flavor packets, and then it also goes like colleges. Those people in colleges, they are hard for cash. That's why they eat ramen noodles. They always talk about how cheaply you live when you're in college in dorm rooms and stuff like that.
I also heard that like people usually use it like at this age because like for their anxiety.
So, yeah, that's another thing they're saying, that it delivers a buzz to it. And I think the other thing that students and teenagers think that's the right part about it is that they're saying, oh, it's not bad. It's not, it's not a cigarette, so it's not bad at all. There's no bad harmful chemicals, but in fact there are. There's still over 1,000,
They said
different
that
things.
one pod that's filled up with juice is it's almost as like a whole pack of cigarettes that you're smoking.
Oh yeah. There's lead and different contents that are chemicals that are made inside of it that are in part of the Juul. And you're not just smoking that liquid that's inside. You're also smoking the material and stuff that's getting heated up. The coils that has lead and stuff that's been made with it. So.
Yeah, and I get that. And there's also like just general for why people use it, especially at school. There's like just a security knowing that you can like grab something, hit it, and it's just a quick, easy, painless way to kind of feel a little bit better. And I think that's why a lot of people use it. I don't condone it at all. I don't think it's good, but like, knowing that, I feel like we have to be very delicate with the way we come down on it if we do try to like stop this, and I believe teachers are going to try that. You have to be delicate because it's very dangerous. You're taking away a person's security system. For some people, that Juul in their pocket might be the only time they ever feel good, which is really depressing.
Yeah.
That's like if you open up a present, there's a Juul inside, and you're like, yay, this is what I wanted. That's sad, but for some people that is how it is. So I feel like we need to be very delicate when we are enforcing laws about this. Try to understand where a person might be coming from if they need a Juul, because it's not always like, oh, I just do this because I want to, and you can't stop me. Sometimes it's like, oh, this makes me feel a little bit better during the day because I have such anxiety. So, yeah, you do have to be very delicate.
So we thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, Kiana and Oliver, for joining us. Now we're going to head over to an interview with our SRO, Mr. Duchesne.
I am Oliver Drew, and I am sitting here with Officer Duchesne. We are talking about juuling in school. How do you think the rise of the use of vapes and Juuls came about, especially in school?
Well, the problem is these are easily accessible. They're easy to conceal, and for students that are using these, the vape devices are much larger than the Juuls. This device actually appears that it could be like a small electronic, like a voice recorder or something that you could plug into a computer. So easy to conceal, keep away from your parents. So as this new trend kind of comes out, kids are noticing that, oh geez, I have one of these in my bag. My parents don't even know what it is, and it has nicotine in it. I use it the same as a vape, but no one knows it's a vape.
And what are some plans that you guys are strategizing to undercut the use of these in school?
Obviously, there's school consequences where if you're in possession of a vape, a Juul, any type of tobacco product, you're going to be suspended. So administratively, there's going to be a consequence. Also, with the police department, I've given a lot of people opportunities. They make a mistake, you're not going to get cited. You won't have to go to court. But in the state of New Hampshire, if you're 12 years or older, you can be cited for having a tobacco product. So these Juuls, these vapes, they all are classified as a tobacco product. So technically, you have a court date, there's a fine, you could be put on probation, something like that.
Is there anything you'd like to say to any students who are vaping right now, to maybe warn them about what they're doing or to just give them some words?
Well, obviously, we all know that these devices are illegal. You shouldn't have them. but just they're not healthy. You shouldn't be using these.
So we've gotten to talk to administration and some students on the issue of vaping in school. It's just going to take some time to see where this issue will lead to. From SWEN News, I'm Drew Hallett. We thank you for watching this week's special edition of SWEN News. I'm Drew Hallett, and have a great weekend.